Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for SLT this morning. We're asking that everyone uses the link in the chat to sign in for this morning's session. Ms. Dambowski is going to drop it again in the chat for us. Please ensure that you are signing in for today's session so we can capture attendance, and we can also capture house points. So teachers and parents and family members who are joining this morning, their child's houses will get a house point. Students are currently working towards getting an invitation to our upcoming trips. Our trips are based on house points, and house points are connected to engagement for students, teachers, families, as well as following building-wide protocols. So thank you again for joining us this morning. The time is now 7:20, so we're going to get started with this morning's agenda. We're going to start with the minutes from the previous meeting, and Ms. Dambowski will read those for us.
Good morning. Our previous SLT meeting was on April 10th. The PTA reports were our next PTA meeting is on May 22nd, and our PTA is still having to set up a board meeting for activities, and they're trying to get a meeting for next year's members. The PS 140 reports are: we are currently updating our CEP goals for the upcoming school year. There are different sections that Dr. DeCaries went over last time with us. And in conclusion, it's as a school, how are we able to move forward to achieve these goals? To ensure that all students are safe, to continue our social emotional learning. Looking at our CEP, we also looked at the number of incidents in our building, and we noticed that recess had multiple incidents, so we brought in kids in the game during recess. The purpose of the CEP goals is to collaborate with administration, parents, and teachers to set goals. The priorities are that all students learn to read well, students' physical and are emotionally safe, high quality academic experience, college and career readiness, and responsive to all parents and families. The public documents are available online, and it highlights our goals, budgets, and priorities. On April 10th, we were 48 days from the end of the school year. We were preparing for a statewide exam that students started on April 23rd and ran until May 23rd. As a school, we're using LinkedIn as a platform which mimics the statewide exams that students are familiar with to practice annotation, as well as using it as a mock statewide test. The state test is rotated. ELA was April 23rd to 24th for fourth grade. Third grade was April 28th and April 29th. ELA fifth grade was April 30th and May 1st. Math for fourth grade was May 6th and 7th. Math for fifth grade was May 8th and May 9th. Math for third grade was May 12th and May 13th. The science test was May 14th, and we are currently in makeups until Friday. The NISA test has began with Ms. Mansick and Ms. Stroop for our ENL learners. We have discussed the field trips that were coming up, as well as graduation pictures that occurred May 1st. May 6th, kindergarten to second grade visited the Science Center in Jersey. April 29th was a K-2 Hall of Science trip, and students today are attending a botanical garden in Queens trip for 3 to 5. The last day of after school will be on May 22nd, and our science fair will be on May 28th. The parent survey was also extended until April 11th, 2025. And that is all from our SLT meeting on April 10th.
Thank you, Ms. Danvolsky, for reading our minutes from our previous meeting. We are going to continue with our agenda. Tiffany, do you want to go next, or do you want to wait till you're in person? Ms. Moore can
Wait
go
till I'm in
first.
person, preferably. I'm 5 minutes away.
Okay, so we'll just shift. So we'll have the UFT updated report first,
Thank
and then we'll shift to the PTA. Okay.
Okay, good morning. The UFT update is in fact that the schools will be implementing a cell phone ban starting in September. We as a school should be getting additional resources as it relates to implement this cell phone ban. It's really not problem in elementary school with cell phones, but we will be looking at the upper grades, especially with fifth grade. So we will need to have a plan to implement this cell phone ban that will be starting in September.
You, Ms. Moore. Do we have any questions in regards to the UFT update? Okay, thank you. Double check the chat. Okay, so I'm going to continue with the PS 140 update, and then we're going to shift back to the PTA update. So we are currently in the middle of end of the year testing. Students in grades 3, 4, and 5 just completed the statewide testing. We are currently in makeups for those. So if your child was absent for any of the math or science testing, we will be pulling those students for makeups today and tomorrow, because these are the last 2 days for makeups. And then we have officially wrapped up New York State testing for this year, but we are still in end of the year testing mode. And what that means is students are being assessed in iReady reading and math, which is an online program which students are interacting with reading and math operations to show their growth throughout the year. We are also doing a Cadence, which is a oral-based, written-based assessment for reading and math. And we are doing MAP growth testing, which is an online test that students take as well. So we are still in end of the year testing. So if your child comes home and share about taking a test or working in the computer lab or with Ms. Damboski, our testing coordinator, those are the areas that we are focusing on, and those reports will be shared at the end of the year with your child's report card. So we are wrapping up those testing. We also have E&L testing happening as well with Ms. Manzik, so those students are also being assessed. And that window closes on May 23rd. So for the month of May, we are testing. We do have a few upcoming events coming up. I want to thank all of our families for coming for our in-person parent-teacher conferences. If you are not able to connect with your child's classroom teacher, please ensure you could always do a makeup meeting with them because they do have availability to connect with families. Today, 3 to 5 will be engaging in a garden trip. They will be leaving at approximately 9:30 and arriving back between 12 and 12:30. So that they can have lunch at the school. Today, if your child is in grades 3, 4, and 5, but needs to do a makeup for the state test, they will not be able to go on the trip because the priority is finishing the statewide testing because we only have 2 days to complete. So they will be staying back to do that makeup, but we do have other upcoming trips. And to review our trip policy is heavily connected to our housing system. So we look at students and the type of points that they're able to engage in, and they're able to earn points by following classroom rules, school-wide protocol. So if we've noticed that students are losing points in those things, those students may not be invited for certain trips, but we do have multiple trip opportunities coming up. So we give all of our students the best opportunity to be able to engage on our field trips. my brain power student leaders will be engaging in a day of learning on Thursday, May 22nd with Mr. Meltzer and Miss Samaya and Coach Endler. They have a brain power student leader trip. So those student leaders for brain power will have an upcoming trip. Our science fair is coming up, and I am going to ask Ms. Radu to talk a little bit about it so that if you do have questions, we can address some of those questions here.
Good morning, everyone. So as you heard, we're gonna have a science fair on May 28th. I will recommend everyone to complete the project by May 23rd. So we will be able to set up the gym with their projects. It's not necessary to be a trifold display board. It could be a board, or you can record your child project, and we can project here in the gym. So if you need any supplies or something, just let me know. We can work on it. If if they are struggling with something, I will recommend them to come to me and talk to me, so we can set up everything and have a nice science fair this school year.
Do we have any questions in regards to our upcoming science fair? And Ms. Raju will be providing more information throughout our community weekly. And I know she sends out updates in regards to the flow of the science fair. And if students have any questions or need any support with project ideas or materials, they're more than welcome to reach out so that we can engage in a day of learning and sharing out during the science fair. And the science fair is scheduled for Wednesday, May 28th. Our students get to engage in other projects, so they're able to do some peer-to-peer feedback and learn more about the science content in those subject areas from each other. Okay, we are going to continue with our agenda. In regards to additional upcoming activities, we do have a lot of different events coming up in June. Field day, we have our awards day. We just completed our spring picture day, and we do have picture day makeups as well. So if your child was not able to take a spring picture, there is a makeup date that was shared on the community weekly, that they will be coming back again for makeups. So please look out for those dates in regards to makeup dates as well. All of our updated dates and announcements in terms of events coming up will be on our community weekly. That is the best way to get the most updated information in regards to our end of the year activities and events that are coming up. We are going to shift to our CEP. Ms. Jamboski shared from our minutes from our previous meeting in regards to our CEP goals. We are in the process of outlining and planning and drafting our upcoming goals for the 25-26 school year. So we are going to review some of the data that we have obtained throughout the year based on our current CEP. And we are going to be looking at that data to determine what our next goals will be based on parent feedback, teacher feedback, student feedback, and the data that we are seeing in the building. Okay, any questions in regards to updates or CEP? Okay, I know Ms. Moore is en route, so she will come and do the PT update, and I will turn it over to Principal Signal.
Good morning, everybody that's here in person. And hey, Chanel, you're the only parent that's on.
Hi, good
Turn
morning.
up my volume. Turn up my volume. Okay, 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 turn up my All right, thank you, Dr. DeCaries. She is the designee in my absence, but I want to thank you, Chanel, for taking an opportunity to be here, and I want to thank the teachers that are here for being here as well and being a part of this team. Yeah, so Dr. DeCaries covered the agenda pretty much, but I want to give I'm not sure if Charnel, if you participated at the PTA meeting this past Tuesday. Did you get a chance to participate?
Yes, I did.
Oh, you
But
did?
at the end of the meeting, my phone died. I was outside, but
Oh,
I
okay.
did, I was in a meeting.
All right. Well, thank you, because I know that Tiffany might talk a little bit about that and about the initiative that we have used as far as our school funding to really do a focus with parent engagement. So we have Masterpiece Excellence, Miss Phoebe, and she has been providing some support for our parents and have a plan that focuses on our kindergarten parents and our fifth grade parents currently for this year. And for next year, it will be our kindergarten parents will be transitioning to first grade, and then our incoming kindergarten, and then also our incoming third grade for next year. So I'm hoping that we'll have a lot of success to get more parents to be more involved, to really have teachers be meaningful partners in the work for our school community inside and outside the building. And not just merely showing up to a meeting and checking a box, but really and truly coming with new ideas, creating learning experiences for our school community, and really showing up in a way that really impacts our students directly. I know that I'm not sure if Dr. D talked about that this year that we are going to put forth an SBO and what those school-based options are. Ms. Zarina, our UFT building chapter chair, she is conversing with teachers to kind of see which one works best. I want to make sure that teachers have a clear understanding as the purpose as to why we need to start at 9 o'clock. A lot of people have this mindset as if, well, kids come late anyway. We're here to really provide a service to the entire community, and I believe in that. And I want to surround myself with individuals that believe that. And if you don't believe that, then this may not be an opportunity that you would seek out. But I think they need a chair. But so we are looking forward to having the school day start at around 9 a.m. tomorrow, 9 a.m. next school year. The school day will end at 3:20. We want to encourage all of our parents to be a part of PAL, because we are focusing on that partnership with PAL, because we're going to do other opportunities after school that are teacher related. So teachers will be available in the mornings, hopefully. That's what the suggestion is. When I mean morning, I mean like from 7:30 in the morning, and then the school day starts at 9. So that's what we'll be putting forth again for our school community, but we only have 2 parents that are here. Miss Tiffany just came in, and then we have Charnel that's here. Also, we still have a focus of our gifted and talented program, and trying to think. I'm trying to think of some other things that are coming down the pipeline. Okay. Our school-wide events for the month of June, those school-wide events are just that, school-wide events. They are not specific and to say fifth grade dance, fifth grade trip. No, we're opening up to students that are selected based on our house points. So it's very, very important that parents read the weekly or ask questions or even read the communications that come from your child's teacher. So we are going to have events. We are going to do some things, but it's just going to look very, very different. We have the date of graduation. We swapped that date. Instead of it being the last day of school, it's the day before the last day of school, because the dance is going to be the last day of school. This year's been very challenging with our discipline and our ORS reporting and the knowledge that parents bring to the table as far as how they want to partner with the school to get things for their child has been like null and void. Many of our parents had an opportunity to be a part of the district special education meeting that was this week. And I do believe that Dr. D. Chiari's participated in that, and there was only 10 parents across the district. And the reason why I'm highlighting that is because special services for students who are classified as special education, and I'm using that because that is the term that the city uses right now, it needs to be paid attention to. And I think that some parents may feel that they have the last say as to what goes on an IEP or what the program recommendations are. And really, please know that they look at the data. It's not a principal signal decision. I'm over this whole principal signal stuff. Like, I get blamed for everything when really what I'm trying to do is to protect everybody, because there are a lot of nuances with the city that a lot of people do not know. And so 311 and escalations, all those things land in a place to where they have to be thoroughly looked at by outside people. And so even people that work in the DOE are like, oh no, I've never heard of that. Yeah, I've worked at PS 140 for 15 years, and I've been an administrator for 18 years. I have experienced almost everything. So I'm telling you, when I tell you, I know what I'm talking about. And I know that our special ed population and where it is with parents, it is an eye opener and challenging. Also, our parents that are doing well, our parents that are in a good place. We still have experiences where kids are not coming to school. Parents go on vacations in the middle of the year, and that's their right? For whatever the reason is, but they don't realize how that's recorded with the city. There's no impact, there's no negative impact, but we constantly get conversations over. At this point, I know that 2/3 of our building is chronically absent. Chronically absent means that there are multiple instances throughout the building where a child has been absent 3 or more times within a specific time period. That indicates you as being chronically absent. So I just, if we had another show or something like that, the parents would probably show up. But the purpose of having Phoebe was to educate parents, empower parents, and reset parents' mindset. So they really know what we're working against in New York City. And it is very, very different, right, across the city. So I'm going to pause because I know that's a lot. And I know that we're going to dive into the CEP, but we're going to just pause for a second. And Miss Tiffany has showed up, and we're going to see if Tiffany has anything to share for the parent portion of the agenda.
Just gonna pick up where you left off with the CD. So we
We
had our
have
PTA
PTA
meeting
meeting this past Tuesday,
We had about 10 people on. I would have loved to have more parents, but
but
she's trying to put together a parent cohort to
the
increase parent engagement and literacy. So I believe we're short two parents, so we're gonna be doing some more outreach to try to get more parents to bring more in. And our next PTA meeting will
I'm
be.
sorry, it's hard to hear, it's echoing.
Just said that. Is somebody
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
That's better.
better.
So our next meeting is June 17th. We're gonna wrap it up for the end of the year and possibly hold elections for next year, September, where there's new parents coming in. So that's all for the report.
Okay, all right. So, all right, Andrea, you ready for the CEP portion or? Oh, you already did that portion. Okay. Yeah, no worries. Okay. So I know it's early in the morning. While the three constituent groups are here, I would like to take an opportunity for us to reach consensus. We have to change the time. Yeah, right. We have to change the time. I think that I'm gonna make a suggestion. I think that 220. The reason why I think 220 is because we can get more parents that are picking up their kids or that are you know, after dismissal or right before dismissal can join and be a part of it. What do you guys think?
Okay, 220 or 320?
220.
We
Okay.
wouldn't be able to because it's like a conflict of interest because the
Right.
teacher is still gonna be on the clock. so
No,
that
I was
listening.
the one that taught you that.
I know.
No,
I'm telling you, that's
for
I'm
the
listening.
right, the teachers
Uh-huh.
will come in early that day. Okay? What that means is that if you want to do the stipend for SLT, but because you'd be on the clock till 3:20, your day would end at 2:20 because you would start earlier that day. Okay? All right, does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think if we start at 2:20, we have a chance to advocate, engage with parents, could, do a parent talk or something to tie it into the SLT meeting to get more parents involved. And we see the most parents at drop off in the morning, which was, it's usually like 8:30 to 9, but the morning's just way too hectic. But if we do the afternoon, then it's like, okay, everyone's already here. We're doing everything. And I know that like some of the teachers are expressing that for a variation of reasons, travel, this, interest, whatever, they will be seeking other employment, and that is their right. But if they know that they're not going to be here, we don't want their decisions to impact what it is that we're doing, right? Because we're very busy. Like, we're still going to continue to work. We always have. So no matter who's here, who's not, or what's happening, if you know that you're not going to be here, these things should remain in effect, and things that we do should be here regardless, right? So one of the traits of landing and highly effective for principal practice is saying that you've implemented things that would work regardless if the principal was there or not. Right. And so I kind of really believe in that a little bit, but it's just a suggestion. Anybody else have any suggestions about the time? Nothing? No? No? Okay, so we know Saturday is out. I don't think anybody didn't want to put up no Saturday, right? Well, parents might want to do a Saturday, but
No.
okay? Friday nights.
I like that.
Okay, sometimes so what day of the week? It's funny. So what day of the week?
Thursday? Yeah, Thursday, I think it's Thursday afternoon.
Okay. Thursday afternoon. Okay, so what I don't know the Robert Moses laws, the Robert, whatever, laws of, what I'm talking about. Yes. I do believe from what I remember, the voting members are.
Me, you, and.
Right, okay. So can we reach consensus on that? And then you have to capture who, yay or nay.
We can come to a consensus, and then when we start it off next year, we would have to bring it to the table again, because we don't have a full parent board.
We have a full parent board because no one has officially given their resignation.
Uh-huh.
Right? So the last thing that we don't want to find ourselves in a position of doing this all over again next year. Okay. So I think that based on this year, we can adjust the bylaws reflective. And then if next year, if there's additional seats that come up and people's children have articulated out, because remember, we answered the question that the seats are 2 years. All right. So, but we have some parents that haven't officially resigned, and I feel like one parent's child will still be here next year unless they move. And then the other parent is articulating out, right? They're a 5th grader.
Are they?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I remember it being, the lady who's the title one rep, what's her name?
Santos, Liam's mom.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So she will still probably be here.
Mm-hmm.
Candice will be here.
Mm-hmm.
And,
The 5th grade parent. She was voted into something. And remember, she was like, I take it, but I can't really be there early in the morning.
she was gonna see tab for?
No, that's Amber. Her mom's here.
No.
She's
It
in.
wasn't Amber. It wasn't Sherman. It wasn't Sherman.
Upchot's mom?
I'm not sure. and I don't wanna be
No.
offending anybody.
Oh.
But it was the lady with the husband, she had a small child.
Oh, that's Pemdra's mom. But
She never came to any meeting. She showed up, got voted in because she was the only one who wanted this position and never came to a meeting.
Okay, so we do have to go back to the notes. Eliana Parker's mom is voted in for something.
No, Miss Parker, she actually is the one that resigned.
I never got it in writing. Okay, so her seat is still open. So she's articulating out.
Yes.
Okay, do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why the three of us and the two I don't even think we need the two teachers, right? I think
The three.
the core consensus,
Yes.
right? So,
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Thursdays at 2:20.
And it's for the following school year.
so what? We have to be very specific. Are we gonna do it?
For the next meeting?
Right, right, because the bylaws carry us into the next school year.
So I think it has to start officially the next meeting. So starting in June.
Mhm. Yeah,
So that would be the last.
And that's June 19th.
okay,
And that's the no school.
Well, that's gonna probably.
No, because we said the Thursday. So
Mhm.
the third Thursday is June 19th.
So it'd probably be the 12th.
Oh, there's no school.
That's what I'm saying. So we're trying to see, it would have to be the 12th.
no worries. We would have changed it anyway, because it's a DOE holiday, okay? So we have to reflect that in the minutes.
And you're not trying to be on that's last day. I'm not trying to have
Yep.
a SLT.
Yep, so June 12th. Okay, so June 12th, it will come together, and scheduled for, 2:20, right? But we have the whole afternoon because we have to do the remuneration and all of those type of things as well. So we'll have the whole afternoon, okay? So moving forward after that, if anybody has a calendar. Okay, so if we go into September, Zarina, did you vote? You're okay?
Yes.
Yep, okay, all right, and then I'm okay. All right, so the three of us are okay with the time. Okay, so now we are at, where are we at? May, June, okay, that's out. July, August, September, okay?
September 18th is the third Thursday.
Okay, is there a holiday on September 8th? If one person looks at the date and one person looks at the DOE calendar. Okay, you looking at the DOE calendar? Yeah. Look at the DOE calendar, because remember, we have Rosh Hashanah and stuff like that.
The 18th,
September 18th.
that might be a conference day for us. Thursday, September 18th is evening parent teacher conference for middle and D75, and we usually have an SBO to be with D75, so that could potentially be a parent teacher conference day for us.
Okay, so we do have some additional information. It won't be a conference day for us because the SBO option says 4 times, and we're not doing an SBO to change the conference dates, correct? Right?
We're
Yeah,
not, okay.
we're not.
So there's no.
Okay,
September 18th
Yeah,
at
mhm.
2:20.
yeah, okay,
And then the next one is October 16th,
That's fine.
okay,
November 20th.
Generally, we make parent teacher conferences for high school, K to 12 and 6 to 12, so that will apply for us. So we have to change that date.
we're not a K to 12 school. Well, did they say K to 8 or K to 12?
K to 12. K to 12. From school K to 12.
20
to 6 to 12.
So conferences usually start at 4:30. If we're starting at 2:20, how's it a conflict?
Isn't that when it's afternoon and evening, so it would be afternoon would be the half a day, and then evening, so it's a 5 to whenever.
But the day ends at 3:20.
Not for, usually it's the 12 to 3:20 block, the afternoon, and then they have the dinner break, and then it's the evening conferences.
Okay, so wait, I'm not understanding. If the workday ends at 3:20, you have a, right, it wouldn't,
Earlier.
The students,
Right.
they would leave earlier,
Okay.
right, but the workday,
but they have conferences scheduled, so it can't conflict.
right, the day ends at 3:20.
But the conferences start from 12, if it's a half day for kids.
So it's from 12 to.
3:20.
And the teachers will be
Yeah.
involved in conferences, so they can't really have a.
So we wouldn't be able to do it at 2:20.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
So we have it
We would-
3:20 because the workday ends.
Adjusted.
Yeah. Right.
Okay.
Wouldn't it conflict with their dinner break?
No, if these things, they get a stipend for this.
And we
Yeah.
eat during.
Well, I don't know contractually how that works for their.
No, so their work, whatever their work time is, their work time ends, right? Even if they're like, oh, well, I want a dinner break. Girl, this is SLT. I'm sure you want a breakfast break. You want a breakfast break right now. Like, yeah, so, but then, and so they start again at 4:30. But the teachers that are voted that are here, they have a dedication to want to be here. And if we have to, we can know, just like what you said, that if we want to change the date, we can have 48 hours of notice to be able to change the date.
And
Right, to be able to
talk about it the month before.
Right.
So we just need to have a tentative date, and it always can be changed. Just
Right.
tell us.
Yeah.
It's gonna be at 3:20.
Right, but we'll get more clarity because Andrea brought up some good points.
Yeah.
But usually it's just when your workday ends and then your parent teacher conference start, then we adjust it any other way. So we'll look into that. Okay, the
December 18th.
which is a Thursday.
No.
Yeah,
That's good.
yep.
January 15th,
That's good.
February 19th.
That's during recess.
So we could do the 12th, which is the week before. Not sure if there's
That's
anything
good.
else going on.
Yep, February 12th.
Okay, March 19th.
This is after parent teacher. So now we know that we have to do some sort of clause to adjust it to be the week before if it's parent teacher conferences.
Because we
Okay.
do that when it's testing, so.
Okay,
I don't know.
so a tentative date for that one will be March 12th.
And then April 16th,
That's fine.
May 21st.
Same thing, better for Chicago.
So then it would be May 14th,
Mhm.
and then June 18th.
Fine.
Okay, and I think now we have more dates because I'm looking at Eid and all these holidays and stuff. We missed them. So we'll have more time together to work some things out and continue the partnership with Phoebe and see some things happen. I know that on I can't look over there. May 27th, we're inviting our incoming kindergarten families to be a part of orientation, to view our building, to have a experience. We're having a balloon talk assembly. So kids are gonna play with balloons and stuff like that. Do you remember exactly what they're gonna be doing, Ms. Ryder?
We're gonna have some activity with them, with science related.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're gonna try to leverage that to really connect. For any of our incoming parents, registration will happen during the month of June. Any of the upcoming trips or activities throughout the day, parents are not invited. We wanna make sure that we are holding the privacy of all of our students. So we'll have some students that might need additional attention. The last thing I want, and we have experience, is parents videotaping or, taking pictures. Yeah, not everybody thinks the same, right? So we're just gonna protect ourselves that way and parents are just not gonna be a part of it. Okay? And anything that would, I'm sure that once the PTA executive board meets or they get together, then they'll meet with me so we can go over anything that they would like to do for the remainder of the school year, okay? All right. All right, I think I think we covered the bylaws. We did the CEP. And we know that our next date is
At 2:20.
June 17th or June 12th?
June
12th.
12th. Yeah, your PTA meeting is June 17th. 12. Okay, hopefully we would have had our session times done, our SBO completed by then, and be ready, but we're still in the fact-finding stage of what to do. All right, do you guys have any questions? Okay, Andrea, is there anything else on the agenda we got to go through? Oh, okay, all right, anything else, parents? All right, I think picture day was no hiccups. Some people ordered their pictures and they were delivered to the school already. Oh, that's the question I'm gonna have to ask Suber, because if a parent orders, it needs to be delivered to their house. It will come in June, and when we walk out of here in June 26th, PS 140 is closed, but the actual building is open for a D75 full day program. So parents gonna be like, that's why I'm gonna call the company and remind Suber now and be like, listen, nope. Yeah, we're gonna make sure all their certificates, all that stuff is handing out. We have an awards night this time around throughout the day. It's not awards night, it's award ceremony throughout the day. It's not at night. And it's gonna be all kids together. Usually Ferris will do a live link and share with our parents who have to work. Parents who are receiving an award will be invited. We're trying to work with our new school safety agent. We're trying our very best. Okay, so please know that we put everything in writing. We share it with her. Now, if whether or not it's being read, I'm not sure, but we do the follow-up and stuff like that. All right. Thank you guys for coming early this morning. I appreciate